Once again, to young Bob, the grift that keeps on grifting. We're just going to analyse the events of the last, I don't know, day or two. He got tuned up. It's really quite unpleasant, actually, and I'm going to have a look at it, because there's a few ways to approach this, right? Here's the thing, I actually feel a bit sorry for young Bob, because that's quite unpleasant what happened to him there. He got tuned up, and that is exactly what I'd call it. It's a tuning up. You know, it's not nice. He got attacked from numerous sides. He's not familiar with violence, evidently. And that's pretty much what would happen to, I'm going to have to say, like 9 out of 10 people. The same conclusion would likely occur. Now, I've seen a lot of people, especially, and I think there's a specific reason for this, in a Morgoth comment section, because what you'll see is the parasocial kind of lobbying that goes on in the comment section, because Morgoth is, of course, the dark poet of the North. He has, he's come through the crucible of going to pubs in the 1990s in Newcastle. When it was a different age, like, we're freewheeling, everyone was giving each other a bit of stick, like, and you had to give it, and you had to all the rest of it. But, if you disagree with him on social media, he'll just block you and never answer a question. So it's a little bit of a disparity there with, how you like to frame yourself on the internet and how you actually act. But fine, we'll move on from that. You will see a lot of people essentially trying to subcommunicate to Morgoth. I'm just like you, Morgoth, dark poet. I feel it too. All the rest of it. And so they'll kind of pretend to be like footin' tough, like footin' man of the North, like footin' been scrapping since I was a footin' win, like, footin' typical abbreviated Pakistanis, like they can't fight and all the rest of it. They're not gonna fucking meet him and suggest, I don't know, a meeting on the village green at 12 o'clock and demand their sack. This is not their way, is it? So what they do is they just rush him, steam in, and that's horrible, because that's where you lose your bearings, and that's what happened to young Bob there. So these people go, they fucking can't fight. They're not going in to throw the fucking perfect right hand, are they? But he does get a clip on his jaw, I think. If you slow it down, that's one of the first proper clip he gets. He gets a clip on his jaw, not particularly whatever, but it is still in that moment. Suddenly he's getting hit, his adrenaline's going through the fucking roof, then he's getting people basically holding it. It's just horrible. And for what they set out to achieve, they achieved it. They didn't set out to kill the fucking guy. They just set out to humiliate him and give him a bit of a tune up. And I think ultimately they succeeded in their aims. I feel sorry for Bob here, seriously, because he is young. It's in his branding. Young people should be protected by the medium of Gisengo. But, he is a young lad. He's probably a middle-class lad. I'm certain he's not had much in the way of fights, certainly of this nature. You can see that in his reaction, and that's not a criticism, because I don't think most people of his generation, are really, certainly in England, English people anyway. And there's not much he could do. I don't think there's much that I would say 9 times out of 10, probably more, probably like 29 people out of 30 average people of his age in the street, if they were assaulted in that manner, would probably get the same result, in all honesty, because he gets waylaid from all sorts of sides. And in this situation, like, these people that are sort of like armchair cornering this, I just kind of think it's a bit gross, like, because the guy's getting attacked from all angles. He's got people holding him. He doesn't know where he is or what's going on in the moment. You know what I mean? His adrenaline, which he won't have the references of adrenaline control which you need in the situation. He won't have that. So his adrenaline's going through the roof. It's just pure like blind panic, and people are holding him. And then he gets a clip. He gets a few more. He gets one in the ribs, and they start kicking him, and then he goes down, and they give him some kick. I mean, this is just really quite unpleasant, but it's nothing beyond a tune-up, in all honesty. And again, I'm trying not to be like, footing in the 1980s, like, because it's deeply tedious. But look, he's straight on his feet, and he's looking around for his phone. So he's all right, is what I'm saying. He's all right. Now, there is, in this moment again, he's got a lot of adrenaline. Adrenaline can keep you moving. This is why you need to act with the adrenaline in a situation like that. And again, this is what he should have done, but I don't chastise him for not doing this in the situation. In that situation, anything like that emerges, he should have just gone straight head down and just plow straight in one direction and try and get the fuck away from them and try and, like, you know, reconvene his situation, you know, trying to get a hold of it, trying to get a grasp of who's attacking him, where they're coming from, because they're coming from all sides. So there's no criticism in his actions. That's what, if you want to be like the double-hard, young people who don't know how to fight, like, if you want to do all that, then you'd say, yeah, he just needed to get the fuck away and just plow straight through. Get your fucking hands up and just plow forward. But instead, he's just like, ugh. And then it all unfurls. Well, okay, the point is here, right? He's had a tune-up. Unpleasant. Deeply unpleasant. Kind of feel a bit sorry for him, but not that sorry for him, because that's all it is. It's a tune-up. What he should have done straight after this, well, we'll talk about what he did do, of course, is he went straight to the victim posturing. Now, technically speaking, he is a victim. He is a victim of assault. It's unpleasant, all the rest of it. But look at the framing that they all fucking go to. And this is where we move, you know, further from young Bob, because what you're seeing in this is you're seeing the kind of like the right-wing grifter imperative. Suddenly you're a victim. Now, he is a victim of, you know, a tuning up. Again, no one's stomping on his head. No one's fucking, you know, he's not, it's just, you know, it's playground stuff, really. It's nothing serious. Like, if you look at his immediate reaction, he is not in any physical, you know, pain. He went to fucking hospital after this, which I just find remarkable. He went to hospital. Did you need to go to hospital after that, young Bob? No. He went to fucking hospital. I mean, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What you should have done after this is you should have gone straight to a local pub and you should have had a pint with one or two mates, and you should have sat there, because your nerves would have been all shaken up and your adrenaline would have been going, and you need to lick your wounds, metaphorically and possibly physically, with your pals, get a couple of drinks in, steady your nerves, recombobulate, if that's a word, and then just get on with it. And you could have, if you are doing this grift, if you are doing the influencer thing, you'd sit there in the pub, you get on the camera, and you'd sit there and go, well, yeah, got a bit fucking tuned up, got a little bit, you know, hairy back there, but we're having a pint, and yeah, I don't really give a fuck. That should have been your frame. That's the correct frame in exactly this situation. The unpleasant situation, go and get a couple of drinks, then just, you know, shrug it off. Don't look like flustered. Don't show weakness. Don't roll on the floor metaphorically and show your soft underbelly. This is not the way to deal with it, but it is the way to grift. So this is what they do. And you'll see this with this other guy, Angloid. Now, I'm just fundamentally deeply uninterested in this character, and I can't be bothered to, you know, do any kind of further looking. But as I understand, he is, well, he's just been strutting around. He's had this account. He's got 45,000 followers, probably more now. I don't know. He's got to buy me a coffee. He's online grifting. He's doing this. I don't care. They can call me what they want. I just don't fucking care. He's doing this kind of frame. That's been his frame. This kind of like unashamed, ethno-nationalist, all the rest of it. Fucking, yeah, deal with it. So he's doing the sort of like tough guy frame. And then he gets one article in the paper because he is a fucking newsworthy subject. Now, I don't approve of doxing. I don't approve of any of, like, you know, putting people's names in the papers. But if you become newsworthy, you might get put in a newspaper. Like, is this a big fucking shock to people? It's like Millennial Woes. Well, I mean, we'll drift into him briefly after this, but this guy Angloid, suddenly his frame has completely evaporated. So wait a minute, you were the tough guy who's like, I don't give a fuck, my people are being, you know, replaced, blah, blah, you can call me what you like, all the tough guy framing. The minute you get an article in the paper, it's all gone, and now you're a victim, and now you can't ever work again, and please donate to me. So now it's the victim frame. And you're trying to milk it in exchange of money, which again, this is the dissident right. This is what it's all about. Wearing the clothes of victimhood, you know, with some degree of justification, possibly in certain instances, but just purely to get money and status. Again, the frame should have just been get fucked, not interested in your bullshit. But no, you're trying to now, oh no, look what's done. These terrible people, how could they do this? The thing is, mate, there are photos of you doing like Sikh heiling on the internet, which is kind of stupid. And okay, it's a long time ago, but you have to understand, like from a media point of view, there's photographs of Rupert Lowe with this young kid who's also got photographs of himself doing Sikh heiling or whatever the fuck it is, and being an edgy bro on the internet and all the rest of it, and having this completely front-facing account. You face doxed, you did all this, volunteered all this information, so you can't really expect much in the way of anonymity at this point. Now, I don't agree with putting people's names in the papers and people's addresses in the papers, or, you know, whatever, town of residence. I don't agree with it. It's not necessary. They could just say, this is the guy, whatever, he goes by this name and he lives somewhere in this region. Well, maybe if it's relevant. But the point is, they're doing this because they're saying Rupert Lowe is attached to, like, you know, far-right people. Which, you know, in the eyes of the NPC mainstream media, it is true. So they need a hook for it, and you're the fucking hook. Well, maybe if you didn't have an account which was face-fronting and was all this, we don't care, and all the rest of it. It's like, do you know what I mean? Your frame is all over the fucking place. It's like with Millennial Woes. Again, we'll see what he did, because he does what he always does, parasitically, like a dark triad, which is what he is. He saw what's happened to this Angloid. Oh my God, this terrible trauma. And he just used that as a way to remind everyone about his mean article in the paper 10 years ago. But his mean article in the paper came after he got flown out, paid expenses to be flown out to America and to give speeches in some nationalist conference, you know, which resulted in a load of Sikh heiling again. And that had some quite serious players. It had Spencer, it had Jared Taylor. All these people are linked to other people. So suddenly you're newsworthy. And you've got a front-facing, you know, YouTube account where at that time 50,000 viewers. And your face is out there. So, you know, suddenly you do become the story. Rightly or wrongly. This is just the media. Like, I don't think it's like... See, I mean, I really dislike the guy, but Morgoth, that's a bit more shitty, because Morgoth never volunteered his image, which is why I don't use his image in my stuff. I kind of thought about that long and hard, but it's just like, no, I don't agree with doxers. So as much as I really dislike him, I probably dislike him more than the others, in all honesty, because he's such a lying little shithouse and a little fucking manipulative little grifter and a shill. And, you know, trying to memory hold what he's done and all the rest of it. But, you know, that was a doxing, because he's never put his face out there and he'd never done any of that. And then they actually went and they wrote a really quite badly constructed report about him. The entertaining thing is it did tell him that he was a reclusive. The same guy that is also self-confessed hermit, you know, and is having like imaginary conversations in his street, you know, to you know, make propaganda for Russia, quite naked propaganda, NLP propaganda, but whatever. That's why I don't like him. But still, I'm not going to stick his image out there, because, you know, you got to have principles in this game. So you could say that's my frame, if you like. It's not really, because that's my principles. But in this instance, if I suddenly start using Morgoth's photograph in my stuff because I don't like him and I want to put pressure on him, essentially, well, you know, I've been inconsistent there, haven't I? My frame's all over the fucking place. Again, in this instance, this is not frame for me, this is principles. But you see, with these fuckers, it's all about a grift, isn't it? So when there's the opportunity of a grift, suddenly they're not tough guys anymore. Or this Angloid. Suddenly he's not a tough guy anymore. Suddenly he's please donate to me, please support me, and all the rest of it. It's all just a fucking grift. Like, I mean, for young Bob here, I mean, look at this fucking photo. Look at what you're presenting yourself in. You're supposed to be like, you're a young lad, for fuck's sake. You got a little bit of a tune-up. And look at the photograph he's presented. It looks like he's about to burst into tears. Now you're just a pussy. You've made yourself look like a complete fucking pussy. And by extension, white, you know, whatever the term is, white nationalists. Well, I mean, are you white? I don't know. We're a little bit confused about that nature, aren't we? No, it was just being semantic. Okay, fine, young Bob. Well, okay. Because again, if you'd just gone to the pub straight after, had a couple of drinks, said that was a bit unpleasant, but we're having a couple of drinks and they can all get fucked. I'm not interested. This is what I'm doing. You're not going to put me off with a couple of slaps like that. Again, this is not to try and act hard. That's just a strong frame. But you won't get that much money out of that. So I understand this is why you're doing the sort of, oh God, victim. Because of course now it's like, oh, he needs money, he needs to hire like some fucking huskal, follow him around. It's just, no, you need to control the frame, mate. Because now you look like a pussy to these people. These people are bullies, the Antifa and the abbreviated Pakistanis. And you don't cuck to bullies, as I've said many, many times in many, many different, examples pertaining to geopolitics. Just surrender. Why didn't young Bob just surrender to them? Well, no. But you are surrendering in this image. Because now look at you. You look like you're about to burst into tears. You look like you're having some existential crisis because you've got a few fucking slaps, a few digs in the ribs. Unpleasant, as I say. I don't go on this, oh, you fucking pussy, you need to do... It's like, 29 out of 30 people would handle that exactly the same, in all honesty. Certainly like a young lad, 17-year-old. With no real experience. So, here we go. That's all I'm going to say. Have a good day. Okay, and just a tag in at the end. I'm going to have to take some of this back because I'll tell you the truth, I'm a bit worried about young Bob. Because as we all know well, young Bob is an Eastern Orthodox. And he's got a lot of expensive icons. And he's got them just behind him where he streams. Oh, let's turn up for the books, isn't it? Where should I put my camera? Oh, let's just stick it here. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, that's where my icons are. Like a bookshelf. Like some branding. Because, the Orthodox faith, is central, in everything he does. It's central to his grift. I mean, it's central to his work, right? Well, Lavra was bombed by Russia probably about 40 hours ago at this point. So one of the greatest sort of citadels of Eastern Orthodoxy was bombed. And you haven't commented about it, which is really fucking weird, isn't it, young Bob? Are you an Orthodox Christian? Do you not care? It's just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. Some 16-year-old Pakistanis gave me a bit of a slap. Saved it. So, for this reason, I can't comment. Well, you must be getting a lot of slaps, mate, because you've never commented on the Ukraine war in any context, have you? This great Orthodox man. With the 4.5 years of war between the two biggest Orthodox countries on the planet. Just got better things to talk about, like what, Iranians getting bombed? Palestinians getting bombed? There's a lot of mixed messaging going on with you, isn't there? It's almost like we don't know where you stand. It's almost like there's a lot of clothes being worn that possibly are somewhat, masking an ulterior motive. I don't know. Just a bit weird, young Bob. No mention of Lavra being bombed by the fucking Mongols again. They fucking burnt it down before, and they're trying to do it again. This is what the Mongols do. Well, no one in the dissident right cares. I understand that because they're funded by them. You, I don't know, but you're just not bothered. Not worth mentioning it. I don't know, mate. It seems a bit weird to me, but I just thought I'd tag it in. I hope you're all right. Hope this isn't some, early onset of cognitive decline from, these little abbreviators giving you a few digs in the ribs, a couple of slaps. Anyway, protect him.